So what I come to say is this. Becoming 70 years old and going through one death experience and three near-death experiences, struck by lightning twice, open heart surgery, brain surgery, and open heart surgery, all the things, the combination of originally being struck by lightning, dead for 28 minutes, completely paralyzed for 6 days, partially paralyzed for 7 months, and it took me 2 years to learn to walk and feed myself. But what I discovered in that 28 minutes was that nobody ever dies. It is a ridiculous concept to believe that you die. Why? You are a spiritual being more than you are a physical being. And let me show you why. The smallest known particle in physical matter is called a Planck sphere, a very orderly subatomic particle. And when you look at physical reality, everybody, the basic thing that we normally deal with is an atom, physical. Well, if you look at an atom under an electron microscope, it's 99.99996% empty space. And then if you look at the next component of physical matter in your body, it's called a molecule. And a molecule is made up of atoms. But if you take a molecule and you put it under an electron microscope, it's 99.99998% empty space. And then the next component in your physical body is a cell, which is made up of atoms and molecules to form cells. If you put a cell under an electron microscope, it's 99.99999% empty space. So in that empty space, which is what the Higgs boson particle proved to us in CERN, is your spiritual self, the true spiritual identity vibrating in an harmonic resonance in this plane, not in some far distant plane, not in some place called heaven, but here. And if you take 99.99999% of every cell in your body, then where are you really if you are not here? That's the question about tonight. You will never die. Never. It is impossible for a spiritual being to conceive of dying. It's insane. As to people that you want to connect to on the other side, they're always right there. It's just learning how to find that calm level of peace like Larry was describing, and finding things that symbolize who they are, but in laughter. Watch this, everybody. You will see your entire life pass before you in a 360-degree panorama as you make that transition. You will watch yourself from a second person point of view as if you were your own best friend. And then you will literally become every person that you've ever encountered. And you will feel the direct results of your interaction between you and that person. This will happen, and then there'll be a question. If God couldn't come today and God sent you in the life you just reviewed, what difference did you and God make? Now, when you take that tonight in Hail All Saints Eve in a full moon and you ask yourself that question, you begin to expand into the magnificent realms of a spiritual being, not some poor, lonely, depressed, suffering victim. A spiritual being has no capability of seeing itself as a victim. It is impossible to be a divine being so connected to this universe and a part of a divine flowing power that we call God or the divine or the intelligent divine power. How can you see that? So whatever has happened, you have to start right here tonight. You are a great, powerful, and mighty spiritual being, earned dimensions, with dignity, direction, and purpose. The only thing that can ever go wrong in your life is you allow something to affect your dignity, which skews your direction and your purpose. This is the law, everybody. This is not maybe. This is not theoretical. This is it. This is how it works. How do I know? I've been dead so many times, it's ridiculous to think about it. But I can keep getting up from the dead. Why? It's about intention. Because when God said, or that divine force said, if God could not come today, or whatever you believe is divine force, and they sent you, then what difference did you and the divine make? I became a hospice volunteer because as I looked at what difference I could make being the meanest SOB, the biggest asshole you ever came in, big, bully, tough guy, the greatest thing I could do is be at the bedside of people going from this world to the next world, being afraid of all that garbage that religions and institutions and governments had taught them. I've been a hospice volunteer for 42 years. I've been at the bedside of more than 2,010 people going from this world to the next. 34,000 hours at the bedside, and I've been with 346 people taking their last breath. So I got a grip on death on this side, on going there, on being over there, and coming back. So tonight, you must start by locking in the fact that you will not die. And everyone you've ever loved and who's ever loved you did not die either. So the most important thing that you take into your mind, heart, and soul tonight is, why do you want to contact someone who made it home? It is your intention, everybody. It's why you do what you do, not what you do. These are the laws. And once you put those laws in as the reality that you will not die and that you're a divine and powerful spiritual being. So what I'm going to close with is this. Yeah, for everybody out there on this full moon, I have my fire log burning. I've set my candles and lit them. I put out my little altar so that I can stay focused in the divine things around me. You being a part of this show, everybody, it means that all of us collectively together are spiritually focusing in the divine nature of each other's love. So remember, it's always why, what your intention is, more than what it is. And pay attention to this. As a spiritual being, I'm going to give you the meaning of life on this Hail All Saints Eve. Here's the meaning of life. You were chosen to come here. And once you were chosen, because there is nobody better than you to take on the 8 densities that becomes a physical being, to conceive as a physical being, even to feel pain and to feel emotional and stress, and still be chosen by the divine to be you. And then you pick consequences for which you come, and you look at opportunities to overcome. But watch this. If you wrote down on a piece of paper everything that you hold or believe that God is, or the divine is, or the mother goddess, or whatever you want to call that divine essence, and you wrote it down: compassionate, loving, caring, hopeful, protective. And then you turn around and think, how many times per day do you get a chance to be one of those things? All day, every day. So the meaning of life is to practice being a God in the midst of appearing to be physical. Now that's the law, everybody. That's not maybe. None of that. This is how it works. And once you put this into your thinking processes, you begin to expand. You begin to perceive things. You begin to know things in a higher level. And you sense the value of yourself as a spiritual being. practicing being a God, which could only have been an earned right. You would have earned a right to be here. So practicing being a God from this night on is the key to accessing levels of consciousness, moving through dimensional realities, and really taking a hold of who you are. And what I'd like to do is this too. I want everybody to stop for a couple of seconds and pay attention to your breathing. Breathe deep. Pull in the life force. Pull in the love. The same as that we're sending and protecting the people in Colorado in the fires. But you got to donate the power of your breath and the power of your love and the power of your heart as you breathe in. And when you breathe out, send safety and protection to those people, because you can never replace that physical crap that's gone. But you can empower them with the love to start over and to begin again and to recreate a new world as a divine spiritual being, because all of us this night have chosen to do this on Hail All Saints Eve. So we're all saints. On a full moon in 2020, when the world is changing. And the last thing to find out how really funny I am is get you a copy of Saved by the Light, a book I wrote 25 years ago. And I put in that book a vision I had in 1975. The battle for the souls of humankind would be fought in healthcare. I've been saying that, as Scott can tell you and Deborah can tell you, I've been saying that for 45 years. Well, we are there. So if you get saved by the light, go to chapter 5 and read box 12. And I will have described exactly where we are today. I even used the terms the virus, the vaccination, the so-called 060606 patent, all of this. It's in play today. So that means that tonight we're all on time. We're right where we're supposed to do. Focus on what we're supposed to be focused on, being who the hell we are as great, powerful, and mighty spiritual beings, practicing being a God together.